Hello and welcome to your number one horror podcast on places where you can find people having sex, getting off. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasts and Warden Matt Ritter, and I'm here with my co-host this evening. She's host of the She League Showcase Inside the Mind Up and in the Crowd, Miss Katie Kinsey Baby.
Hey.
Miss Acute Bronchitis.
At least it's cute. That's what my friend said.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I text my one friend because I was like, well, guess what? Guess who has acute bronchitis? And he said, at least it's cute with the nail emojis. And I was like, true. You're right, bestie. It's cute.
You do sound better today than you did yesterday, so those meds are working.
So I have I have an antibiotic and then one that's specifically for coughing, and then I have an inhaler. I haven't used it yet because I didn't get home until like 4 o'clock. Mind you, my appointment was at like 1:30. So I took the one I have to take 2 times a day for 5 days. The one that's for the cough I have to take 3 times a day for 10 days. And the inhaler I have to do 2 puffs 3 times a day for as long as I need to.
All right. So we talked about like the long day I had yesterday on Smackin' Raw. So if you guys want to know about my day yesterday, go check out Smackin' Raw. It's a fucking time. The Rock, the Rack, all sorts of shit was going on. Meat slapping Majesty and cucking and all. Just it's a time.
It's a time.
Vince got really mad at Katie for agreeing with me at one point
because I'm apparently not allowed to anymore.
Shame on you. How dare you agree with me? How dare
the amount
you
of times I sat back in this chair and just let the two of you fucking argue last night was absurd.
It was a good time though.
Outrageous.
So there's a thing that I'm not allowed to talk about on the podcast, so I cannot talk about whether or not that happened after I finish the podcast. I can't talk about it.
Well, see, I feel like if you can't talk about it, but you're bringing it up, that means it did happen.
You can make all the assumptions about how amazing it was all you want, because I can't talk about it. So then I got to bed at like 3:30-ish. Got up at, I want to say like 9:30. Kate had left because she was meeting her mom at Michael's and then picking up Zoe.
Yeah.
So I went out and picked up the month of dog poop in the backyard that I've neglected because of the freezing cold and the snow, which was not fun. Put a light bulb in the garage door openers that we got installed a couple months ago that I've just been too lazy to pull the cars out and get a ladder to go up and do, because we have other lights in there. So I was like, I don't need to put a light bulb in the opener. And then I opened it the other night and the lights in the garage weren't on and it was dark. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to do this. So I did one because she took my car. So I did that. So we got home. We had Taco Bell, all of the other stuff that we talked about at the beginning of the show. Went out to this birthday party, had fun, got to see some friends I haven't seen in a while and celebrate their kid's birthday, blah, blah, blah. Nice. Come back, deal with all of the other bullshit that I talked about in the pre-show. If you didn't hear, go listen to the pre-show. My daughter is a 3-year-old. Like, I love her so fucking much, but also she makes me want to stab myself in the temple with something very sharp sometimes. So dealt with all that, sat down, watched Vengeance Day, came down here. I was like, all right, cool. Mortal Kombat. Then had to prep for tomorrow's show so I don't have to get up early and do it because I'd rather Zoe's awake.
Yep.
You can hear?
I heard something.
I just text Kate. Yeah, no, she's bawling. She's probably looking for me. So that's fun. Kate will take care of it. Yeah, so yeah, Vengeance Day, that set up for the podcast. Now we're here, and I'm still fucking exhausted.
Me too. Twinsies. Different reasons, but
Can you hear that?
Little that I can hear. Oh, poor kid.
All right. I have the headphones on. You do news and rumors. I am going to take care of that real quick.
Okay, I can do that. All right. Well, here I'll even make my life easier. I'll do this. Oh, we not have anything. Okay, never mind. I'll do this one. So, news and rumor. Let's see. I have pictures of everything because it was too much to write. So, The Lost Boys are getting a musical directed by Patrick Wilson. For those who do not know, Lost Boys is an 80s film, horror film. And Patrick Wilson is been in so many horror movies, specifically The Conjuring and Insidious. And yeah, they're going to make it a nice little cool musical. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. If it's going to be exactly like The Lost Boys, I don't necessarily know. This is so weird, by the way. I know he can hear me, but this is weird. Let's see. What do I have next? Not that one. Hold on. There we go. Universal is creating a new world, kind of, called the Epic Verse. It's coming out in 2025. It's going to have all the things.
I about took my headset off.
I saw that.
Epic Verse.
Epic Verse. Yeah. So Universal's going to have this whole thing. It's going to have like 5 different worlds. Like How to Train Your Dragon. Like that's where where
you train dragons.
Land. Yeah, that's.
She's.
You can go if you need to.
No, Kate's inside now.
Okay.
She's got it.
So they're doing a dark universe in this. It's basically going to be.
I'm listening. Keep going.
Okay. It's basically just going to be like the old time monsters like Frankenstein and
Universal Monsters, Universal Studios.
Yeah, those. I'm just like reading the Bloody Disgusting article. Universal's classic monsters and Dr. Victoria Frankenstein to the shadowy landscape where monsters roam. Dark Universe is a world of myth and mystery.
A pic of what?
I didn't even have the comments up, so that's on me. I also was reading off my phone. Yeah, what is he sending you?
That's what I want to know.
But yeah, so that's coming in 2025. Those two were like, eh. We talked about last show. 28 years later, coming out soonish. One of the stars from the first one, the original that started it all, Cillian Murphy, has basically signed on to be a producer for the movie and is also down to star in it.
Okay.
If need be. So like, listen, I love Cillian Murphy. It's like I'm not gonna say no. You know, like he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care.
So, Katie, because you sent it to me on Instagram, and I am not prepared to do anything on Instagram. I'm going to save it and tweet this to you. He sent a picture of what you were talking about, the horror universe or the theme park.
Oh, yeah. So it's Celestial Park, Super Nintendo World, Dark Universe, Harry Potter, and How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. That's going to be all the lands in the Epic Universe. So thank you, Dommy. Thank you, Matt, for sending that to me. What do I have next? Oh, God. Jesus, you fucking scared me. You can't do that when I'm not looking.
Boo. This is a horror podcast. What up, Brocast? Thanks for coming through.
It is a horror
It's
podcast.
been a shit show so far, and we haven't even started talking about Barricade. So,
yeah. I can't believe I literally watched that before I went to Med Express. What a time! I was like, I got time for this, sure, because I didn't want to do it when I came home. Oswald, the rabbit. You know who that is? Cartoon character.
we're gonna talk more about him tomorrow.
Oh, good. So it's probably what I'm gonna say, and then you'll just talk about
the
it.
Trailer.
Okay, yeah. Well, that makes life easier because I can't do that here. So Blood Disgusting, as they do. It's gonna be called. They're making a horror movie because nothing can not be a horror movie anymore. You know, Mickey's got like 2 coming out. Oswald's got a few. There's a lot going on. So it's gonna be Oswald Down the Rabbit Hole, and I have the synopsis. The film follows the main character Art and friends embarking on what starts as an innocent journey to track down his family lineage, quickly turns into a blood-curdling nightmare when they find his great-grandpa Oswald's abandoned home. The group is transported to a place lost in time, shrouded by dark Hollywood devilry. I don't think I've ever seen the word devilry written. So
Written? Okay.
Yeah, like I've said something along those lines. I've never seen it like written like that. So that's kind of...
I don't think I've ever said devilry.
I feel like I've said like something close to it. You know, I mean, I don't fucking know.
Oh, I was gonna say I like the octopus dude.
Devilry, yes. Devilry. That's exactly how.
Look at you! I didn't think Tommy could spell that.
That's Timmy.
Timmy can spell.
Timmy can spell.
Hector.
Hector. Muscle Man. I don't see this. Final thing. This is more for you, not for me. Texas Chainsaw is going to be getting a new movie. Texas Chainsaw Legacy delves into the tranquil facade of Oasis Oaks, a gated community nestled in rural Texas. Admits why do they have so many fucking big words in this goddamn article? Fucking bloody disgusting. Sorry, let me try that again. I also didn't proofread this very well. So, admits the meticulously manicured lawns and vigilant security patrols. Our protagonist family has suburban bliss, however, lurking just beyond the confines of this enclave lies an abandoned property home to the infamous Leatherface and his macabre kin. As chaos descends upon Oasis Oaks, ordinary families are pitted against the savage Sawyers. No. Pitted against the savage Sawyers in a harrowing battle for survival, where the lines between good and evil blur in a chilling confrontation of familial horrors.
Listen, I don't want Leatherface in the suburbs.
It's just outside the suburbs. He's not in the suburbs. He's close enough.
He's in a gated community.
He's outside the gated community.
He will be inside the gated community.
Yeah, raising hell.
It's METICOUSLY.
I deleted the picture already. I'm not doing it.
OUSLY.
I missed my
something like that. It's MET.
No, I think it was MA. I think it was MAT. Hold on. I'm just gonna pull the fucking picture back up because I'm over this. Let me see how they spelled it.
Yeah, meticulous is MET.
Oh yeah.
CULOUSLY.
How are they gonna put meticulously manicured back to back? I can't.
Alliteration.
This is bullshit, is what it is. God damn it. But yeah, that's all I have.
These words are bullshit. Well, while we're here, I want to thank everybody for joining us. If you're joining us live at twitch.tv/Creation World, where if you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming. If you have Prime Gaming, you have a way to link it to your Twitch account and get a free sub every single month. Do that. You get a free sub. You give it to us. You give it to Katie. Give it to Botch Spots and Chair Shots. Any of your favorite content creators here on Twitch to help show your support. We would appreciate it. We're going to talk about why and how I think I deserve when we get to YouTube. But for now, you're already paying for Amazon Prime. This costs you absolutely nothing to do except for a little legwork on your computer because they will not let you do it on your phone for some reason. But you link the two accounts, you go in there, you pick who you want, you click the sub on your computer, on Twitch. You can subscribe, show a little support for someone that's out here to entertain you and is busting your ass to create content. So do that. You guys can also check us out at youtube.com/CreationWorld, where it is free to like, subscribe, and comment. Katie.
Yes.
What does that do?
Boost the algorithm and helps find new listeners.
I say this every single time, Tommy.
Timmy, come on.
That is correct. And why would boosting the algorithm and finding new listeners be important?
Well, you're one of two things. Well, you're two things. You're a whore. You're also a hoe. Because we talked about it yesterday, and I remembered. I'm sick, and it's midnight. Leave me alone.
Yes, I am a whore. I am a hoe. I am all of the things. Slut. Tell me whatever you want. Point is, I am here to entertain you, and I will do just about anything to do so, even though I'm exhausted. My daughter's crying. My wife's poking her head through the screen. I had to walk away while Katie was reading news because I do also have to manage a family. But hopefully some of that was entertaining. Watching me lose my headphones coming back into the show was entertaining. I want to entertain you, and I'm here to entertain you, but not just you. Because while I love you as the whore that I am, there's a lot of me to spread around. I got a lot of meat to pass around, and a lot of me to pass around. So introduce me to your parents. They'll love me. Parents love me. You might look at me and be like, parents love me. Grandparents love me. Brothers, not so much, but I'll win them over. Sisters, probably. Aunts, uncles, cousins, your best friend, their families, your worst enemy, their families, like anyone. Listen, if you have somebody that you absolutely hate, introduce them to me, and then you guys can bond and maybe repair that relationship. I want to come between the two of you.
No, thank you.
Let me touch the both of you at the same time. With my words and actions and entertainment. All right. So youtube.com, while you're there, flick that bean, that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live Monday through Friday for
Creation Conversation.
Every Saturday at 11 p.m. Central for
Smacking It Raw, old school logo, baby.
And every other Sunday, including tonight, for
Getting Offed.
There you go. And anything else that we might drop that you guys might enjoy. Occasionally we drop some new shit and it's entertaining and fun. You guys can go check it out. So please do that. And with all that said, I think it's time to get into the episode.
Also, we all are always on point. The fuck? We're great at our job.
Ooh, yes. A lot of meat to offer. Oh, thank you. I love how I'm like, introduce me to your worst enemy. I was like, yeah, that's one thing I'm not going to do. Fuck that. Fuck that person.
Yeah, no. Fuck that.
I like that I'm so special that like someone you hate, you don't want them to enjoy me, because it's that thing where like when you don't like somebody, you don't want them to like the same things you do. I get that.
Yeah, no, it's 100% on point. And I'm also not trying to repair a friendship that they fucking ruined anyway, so just saying. Fair.
So last week, randomly, we were like, hey, listen, we cover wrestling, we cover horror. The mayor of Knox County is in a horror movie or two. Let's talk about those. And in the midst of doing that, Katie and I did some research, and we found 5 other horror movies produced by WWE, which kind of shocked us because like we knew about 1, maybe 2, but we didn't know about all of them. And then I went to Twitter last week and I was like, hey, what 2 movies do you want us to, talk about first? Now, when we broke it down, we're like, all right, so Oculus and Barricade, no wrestlers.
Yes.
No one lives, has Brodus Clay, Tyrus, Fox News anchor, whatever you want to call him. And supposedly Incarnate has Mark Henry. So
he was on the IMDb.
I know. I'm just saying. We haven't seen him in the trailer, so when we get there next week, we'll get there. But that's kind of how we separate the shows out. The no wrestlers and the wrestlers. You guys voted for Oculus and Barricade, and we are here to talk Oculus and Barricade. And I am kind of upset with you guys.
Well, no,
it's on us. Yeah, no,
we have to start with hopefully the shittier of one of them. Listen, Oculus was good. It was fine.
So you want to start with Barricade?
I think we have to start with Barricade because I'd rather end on a fun note.
I should have red flags. Are you guys familiar with red flags? What red flags are? Like,
story of my life. I know I'm a walking red flag.
The fact that I could only find this movie on Tubi, that I couldn't rent it anywhere, that I couldn't purchase it, that it wasn't on any regular streaming platform that I pay for. See, pay. Anyway, platform that I pay for. Should have been a red flag, but the trailer looked really fucking cool. We watched it. We're like, all right, this is gonna be cool, right?
Yeah.
I know you like red flags. That's why you stick your dick in crazy, just like me, Timmy. Jesus. Not that I did that last night, because if I did, I couldn't talk about it.
She's gonna kill you.
She doesn't listen. The only podcast she listens to anymore is Shits and Gigs. She does not listen to me, so she has no idea. Unless you can hear me upstairs, because she did come inside. So there's that.
Yeah. So
but I closed the bookshelf door, so it's heavy. I don't think she can open it. Anyway, Barricade, right? Sit down. I'm watching it. I still don't know what happened in this movie.
I don't either.
Like, I went in the chat and I'm like, so that's a movie. It's a thing that I watched. Because, all right, so
let's just talk about it.
The movie opens up with Terrence and Leah, married couple. Leah's like, hey, I want to take the kids to my family's cabin and get away and spend some time where, my parents took me, blah, blah, blah. And Terrence is like, I work, I got job stuff, and also kind of like, kids are your thing, not really mine. I don't know about like going away for a weekend and hanging out with them, because like I work, you do kids, which is fucked up perspective.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Fast forward to Terrence driving the kids to the cabin, sans Leah, with no mention. Like I just assumed Leah was dead because
it was just a random fucking fade to black. A year later, Terrence and the kids in the car. Leah's fucking dead. That's how horror movies go.
But they don't really tell us until later that she died, and then like way later how she died. And they kind of fuck with you. They kind of fuck with you about how she died. I had a bunch of theories going through my head while watching this. So we also see a scar on Terrence's hand that he keeps looking at.
Yep.
We're like, okay, cool. So I'm just gonna read you my notes in order I took these as I was watching the movie.
I was gonna say, you do that, and then I'll do that, and then we'll just have fun. This will be great. Yeah, because we don't even have to talk about the movie.
Well, my first note is apparently she died. Accident ? Murder ? The kids' names are Cynthia and Jake.
Yeah.
Terrence is having hallucinations. Maybe I think he's losing time during flashbacks.
Okay.
Cynthia's hearing noises in the attic. Mm-hmm. Jake sees something in the trees outside. Everyone has a weird cough. I think there's black mold in the cabin.
See, when they all started coughing, I was like, this is disrespectful. I have bronchitis.
They go out, play in the snow. Jake goes missing, but ends up in a tool shed where they see something running by the window. He tries to start the car, but when he wakes up, the car's buried in snow, and he doesn't know how much time has passed and how the car got buried that quick.
Yeah.
Terrence is apparently on meds, which might have something to do with all of this. And I'm just realizing 36 minutes in that no one has interacted with the kids, just Terrence. Are the kids dead? Question mark.
That's one of my theories. Mm-hmm.
Sheriff shows up, gets sucked out into the wilderness by God knows what the fuck that was. Terrence decides he has to barricade the house up to keep them safe, but stuff is missing every time he goes to do it, and the kids think something's in the house. I don't know if this is a poltergeist, psychosis, or black mold. Maybe it's a gas leak.
Not the gas leak.
Terrence falls asleep and the kids go missing. He finds Cynthia in the kitchen, which is a mess, eating mac and cheese in the most annoying way possible, and her face is all distorted.
Yep.
55 minutes in, pretty sure he killed the kids.
I like the timestamps.
He runs to the attic to find Jake and falls through the ceiling. Now he's seeing people going to the shed, so he runs out there to find someone digging, and then he goes behind the shed and finds a cross marking a grave and digs up the stuffed bunny that his daughter had, which I didn't write down the name of. I forget what
Jack
it was.
the Ripper.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper. He gets back in the house, and it isn't barricaded anymore, and he has the hammer that went missing from earlier. What the fuck is going on? Finds the kids really sick in bed, even though they were missing, puts them in the sheriff's truck, tries to drive away in a snowstorm without his headlights on at night, and gets the truck stuck because he's dumb.
I mean, all factual. This is all true.
So apparently the wife slipped in water from a broken glass, hit her head, maybe broke her neck, and he cut his hand on the glass. But they led us to believe through distorted flashbacks that he murdered this bitch. So like the whole time, I'm like, okay, he murdered his wife. He probably murdered the kids.
That's exactly. I was thinking about the whole time too.
He sees Jake disappear into an ice bath and then looks for him in the attic, where he then finds the sheriff tied up.
Yep.
We find out that apparently they got stranded and sick. He blamed the sheriff, who had a cough when the sheriff came to check on him, and then assaulted the sheriff, tied him up, and locked him in the attic. And in his own mind, hallucinated phantom vortex sucking the sheriff out into the wilderness. The kids didn't die, maybe. And the cops break in, find the sheriff, but the sheriff apparently doesn't recommend arresting him because he was half out of his mind with the fever, and then also says he'll get what's coming to him. And then they get into an ambulance and drive away, and the movie ends. And I'm still not sure if the kids are alive or dead.
Yeah, see, you took way more detailed notes. I was just staring at my screen, kind of just like, what is happening? My notes are as followed. Not as many, not as detailed. This is just fun for me. Weird fade to black in the beginning. Wife/mom dead, because I didn't care about her name. If I'm gonna be honest.
Leah.
Yeah, I know now. Thanks. I also forgot his name until you said it, so.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Coughing a lot. Dad and sheriff. And I should have wrote rude, because me. Ghost of dead wife. Hallucinations. Lots of time missing. Stuff not being real. And then I put an arrow, because I put Oculus first and then Barricade, so the arrow is gonna, we're gonna go back to that. Confusing, blurry slow-mos. The snow is the monster with a question mark, because I was so fucking
I went black mold gas leak. You went snow monster.
I went the snow is the monster, maybe, because like like you said, the sheriff gets like whooshed in Terrence's hallucination. Traumatic death of wife. Mr. House kidnapped. I originally put killed because I thought he was dead, but I put kidnapped. All hallucinations. They were just sick with a bunch of question marks. Something/someone was in the house. A bunch of question marks. Because at the end, the curtain moves, and as the ambulance is driving away.
Yeah.
What was this movie?
Okay.
Why did we do this?
I don't know if our notes explained it very well, but basically everything that we see in the movie is the hallucinations of Terrence because he has a fever and so do his kids.
Yeah.
He thinks that, so he promised his wife as she was dying from hitting her head or broken neck, whatever it was. Also tried to perform CPR on someone with a broken neck, which I don't know how the fuck that works, but hey, good for you. He promises her that he'll take care of them, and then he feels like they died. He thinks they died and that they didn't, but like every like weird thing that we see with the time missing and stuff going on is all in fever induced hallucinations that he's having, and the way his mind is reconciling all the shit that's going on instead of dealing with the reality of it. I still like there's a point where the kids are there and he's like, "Oh, your fever's broke. You guys are okay." Because like the ghost of his wife shows up and says, "You did take care of them." And he's like, "What? No, they're dead." But then they're not dead. But again, nobody ever interacts with the children. Even like when the cops come in and he's sitting on the bed, they don't talk to the kids and ask if the kids are okay. When the sheriff's walking by, getting walked out, not apparently pressing charges after being assaulted with a hammer and tied up in an attic, he just says he'll get what's coming to him, but they don't like say anything about the kids, I don't think.
Yeah, because the only time the kids really get like interacted with is in the beginning when they're at the shop getting the keys to the cabin, and Mr. Sheriff House is and then touching everybody. It's COVID. That's how COVID happens, sir. Let's not do that. I was gonna. So the same pills I didn't write down, but I remember same pills Terrence is taking. Is the same pills he prescribes or has a doctor prescribe one of his patients in a flashback who is dealing with the death of her husband.
Look at that. Yeah, he's a therapist who lost his mind.
Yeah.
Psychologist? Therapist? I know. So there's a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and one can prescribe medicine and one can't. So whichever one prescribes medicine
can. Psychologist cannot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the kids lived or not. Like they got into an ambulance and drove away, and he seemed cool, but like,
but again,
those kids look dead.
What the fuck was like in the house? Because clearly something was. Because again, at the end, the curtain was all just moves. The curtain fucking moves at the end.
Yeah.
Going out the window, and you see the ambulance. So something was there. It's giving Amityville horror.
It might have been the ghost of his wife.
Maybe.
Because she was there to be like, "No, you did take care of him. Like, I wanted you to bring the cabin, and now I'm still here. So bye. Good job.
Proud of you."
Listen, I do not recommend this movie. Do not go watch this movie
unless you like really bullshit.
Really bad. Really fucking bad. Unless like you like really bad movies, do not go watch this.
No, it's like I said, a waste of an hour, 44 minutes, give or take, because Tubi has ads. Not long ads, but like they have a few. But like it's a free app thing. So like nobody should really be surprised. I watched it on my laptop. I didn't even turn on my TV. I was just like, I'm doing it on here. But yeah, that was god awful. And I'm happy I never have to watch it again.
Yeah. I'm really hoping No One Lives in Incarnate are way better than that was.
Well, I think Barricade was one of the earlier ones. So let me just quickly Google here. Because Barricade was like 2012. No One Lives. That was also 2012. And then what was the other
one? Incarnate.
Yes, that one. That was 2016.
Okay.
So we'll have hope for Incarnate at least. And Mark Henry's parents.
We've watched 4 so far. Now, we haven't talked about Oculus yet. We will. Mm-hmm. Where does Barricade rank?
This is the bottom.
See No Evil and See No Evil 2.
This is the bottom. This is the fucking bottom. See No Evil 1. See No Evil 2. See No Evil 1. Barricade.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was
I'm everyone who partakes in this show, Reek, Just, Will, Be happy you didn't watch the shit. It was a waste of goddamn time. But we did
rough.
it.
Terrence is played by Will from Will and Grace.
Yeah.
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 So there's that.
The real bit also looks familiar.
It has that going for it.
That's the only thing. It's a Canadian movie with a Canadian actor, i.e. him, and that's it.
In Canada, I think, because...
In Canada, eh?
Canada?
Canada, eh?
Canada?
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 I think it's gasoline.
Like, I was... Like, I honestly thought it was going to be black mold or something that had them all fucked up.
Oh, well, I knew it was something with this goddamn cough. Like, the sheriff had it, and I was like, oh, my first thought, no joke, was the sheriff was going to be the monster. And, like, when they showed his, like, reflection and, like, the big circle thing while he was in the shop and they left, I thought he was going to keep coughing and then, like, fall to the floor and then, like, fucking transform into, like, a werewolf or some shit. I had expectations. And they were just let down.
Transformers, more than
robots
meets the
in
eye.
disguise. We went different parts. That's okay.
We did.
Damn it. Why would you call the other? It's fine. We're doing our best.
So, other things real quick before we move on to Oculus, because the reason that he found Jack the Ripper, the bunny, in the grave, which he thought was the grave of his daughter, because he didn't really mark the grave very well.
Not Cynthia. He thought it was Jake.
One of them. Is because Cynthia said that Jack the Ripper died from the sickness and asked Daddy to bury it. So he doesn't remember going out and burying it and marking a grave. He just remembers finding it and digging it up. Because again, he would black out, have flashbacks to the loss of his wife, and just lose a shit ton of time. Like, they went outside, they played in the snow, they came back in, he got out of breath, he sat down for a second, had a flashback, woke back up, whole car was buried. And dumb motherfucker only dug out the car door to get in it and then tried to stop it. Your exhaust is blocked by snow. You cannot start your car with your exhaust blocked by snow.
He said, no, guys, I got this. I just need one door open.
Where was he going to drive?
Nowhere.
Like, everything in front and around the car.
He was clearly not a driver anyway. He crashed.
Well, that's because he didn't turn the lights on in the truck that he tried to drive away.
He fucked up a multitude of ways.
However, like, props to him for, being that sick and still being strong enough to knock out a sheriff, drag him up into the attic, tie him up, and leave him there.
Yeah, like, goddamn. And, like, that was a hefty little man.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff, not Terrence. Mr. House, if you will.
Was there anything redeemable about this movie for you? Because, like, if we were to do, like, the who got off, literally just his wife, and that was on her.
Well, that was, yes, on her, 100%, because she was like, oh, Jake wants a glass of water, so I'm gonna go down and get it. And Terrence, trying to be the nice dad, was like, you sure? You want me to go? You got it? Fuck you.
Even though he just got done saying, I don't take care of the kids. That's your job. I go to work and make money.
Kids? Those, I don't know those.
Yeah.
I will.
I don't even know their names. Be happy you didn't watch Barricade. Well, or, you said you like Really Bad Horror, so maybe go watch it. You might enjoy it.
Yeah, he might. No, he's going to like it.
God-awful.
If he likes bad horror movies, he's going to like it. Yeah, that was a time.
So nothing redeemable, nothing about this movie that you enjoyed?
I don't know. Leah's ghost was kind of cool looking.
Okay.
That's about it.
I really like the trailer. The trailer was cool. The trailer made this movie look like an A fucking plus.
I liked the snow monster that wasn't real.
I liked all the black mold and the gas leak.
Yeah, the gas leak, the snow monster, the sheriff turning into the werewolf.
The best part of this movie was speculating what the fuck was going on. The worst part of this
Killed
movie
his
was finishing the
kids.
movie and not knowing what was going on.
We didn't get a single answer. And, like, we also didn't talk about how when the cops come and when Terrence goes up to the attic and like confronts the sheriff for the second time, the sheriff's like, I came like 4 days ago when the storm subsided and y'all didn't come get new supplies. And then, Terrence is like, what? It's a blizzard outside. Looks up and it's the fucking sun. How many pills did you take?
I don't know if it was the pills or the fever.
Tienes los dos.
Because he also like went in there to go look for his pills, trashed the fucking room, and then blamed his son
then
for it.
Blamed the fucking kids. And Cynthia's like, Jake has OCD. He would definitely clean it up afterwards. They're like, yo, fuck this guy.
The scene where she was on the floor scraping the spoon against the bowl to get the mac and cheese, and he's like, "Why are you eating mac? Since when do you like mac and cheese?" Like,
that's also a huge red flag. These kids didn't like mac and cheese. No, not you, Timmy. Timmy's taking.
Oh shit! Yeah, weren't asking. Yep.
Yeah, like also like what kids don't like mac and cheese? The fuck.
His kids, apparently.
Maybe they were just demons.
She looked like, I don't want to look at you, Daddy, because I don't want to scare you. And then like this door. Which is what at that point I'm like, okay, the kids are fucking dead. I think that was like the 55-minute mark where I'm like, yeah, no, he killed these kids. Like there's Phantom falling into a ice bath. She's sitting on the floor. Her face is all fucking. These kids are dead, and he did it, and we just need to find out how and why.
How, why, when during the storm, how much time actually passed. I got questions, no answers. Next movie, please.
Well, before we get into that, Katie, I want to talk to you guys about something. I got this little place I'd like you to go.
Where are they going?
Patreon.com/CreationWorld, where for $1, you get 3 shows. Return to Wrestling with Matt and Travis. We are up through 1998's Great American Bash. Bash at the Beach is our next episode, which we should be recording soon for this month. So if you subscribe now, when that drops, you'll already be ready to go. And you can get caught up on everything from the first episode we did in 1995 all the way. It's February.
Yeah. No, sorry. I heard something outside.
Okay. All the way up to 1998. So that's like 3 years of wrestling content right there for you to get you good to go. So please go check that out. But for that same dollar, not an extra dollar, not another dollar, different dollar, none of that. 3 shows, $1. You also get Multiverse with Travis and Mara, where they talk DC animated films. Their latest was Justice League War World. That is available now, and everything that they've done, that whole back catalog, also available. And if you have to ask, where me and my wife, Kate, who I, again, cannot speak about what happened last night, was told not to. Did I freeze or did Katie freeze? Katie? Is it me? I don't think it's me. I think it's Katie. So I'm just going to keep going. Timmy, let me know in the chat if everything's good. And if it's just Katie that's frozen or if it's me. If You Have to Ask is a podcast with me and my wife, Kate, where we do Am I the Asshole posts. Katie was on the last episode that was available last month, which is Sad Beige Baby. And I had Bridget and Mara from Creation Conversation on this week. We talked bad relationships and breast milk along with my wife. Hey, you're back, I think.
I don't know.
You are. I heard you. Yay.
I hate this Wi-Fi.
Hey, listen, it's normally me, so this is a nice change of pace. But anyway, Bridget and Mara are on If You Have to Ask. Come check that out. Bad relationships and breast milk. And then the debut episode, that is just me and my wife. So we got 3 episodes of that as well. If you go to patreon.com, if you guys click on the link, there are other tiers. You guys get more shit, including this show, ad-free. But since you are watching us live, we would ask you to support the sponsors who support us. And Travis is here to tell you how.
Happening, y'all. I know we're having a lot of fun right now, but I actually want to talk to you about something very important: your health. You see, life is full of twists and turns, and that's why having the right health insurance matters. I want to make sure you have the coverage you need without breaking the bank, and that starts with speaking to me for absolutely no charge. Having health insurance isn't just about doctor visits, though. It's about living a healthier, happier life. Physical health and mental well-being go hand in hand, and that's why the plans I represent cover not just the physical, but the mental aspects of your health as well. And here's the deal. I'm very good at what I do. So not only can I find you the perfect plan, but I might even be able to get you one for free. That's right, free advice and a free plan. Your health is too important to compromise. So let's chat, find the right plan, and ensure your well-being. Just visit health.creationworld.com today to schedule a free consultation. The link is right here in the description. That's health.creationworld.com. Your health, your future.
And we're back. I can't go backwards. I realized that. I tried. I stopped, and I couldn't do it. Look at you go. Yeah.
Talented. What the fuck can I say?
You think with anyway. Oculus, which by the way, 1C, and for some reason, every time I wrote it down, I put 2 C's. Even in my notes, I put 2 C's, and then I typed it in, and it didn't come out right. I'm like, I had to look.
It's only 1C.
It's 1C.
I literally wrote the title as 2 C's, so I'm not paying attention.
If you go to IMDb,
just seems right.
Oculus.
Nope, I don't like that. 2 C's is better.
Right? That's what I said. This is actually one of the, this was released in theaters. This was one of the bigger budget horror films produced by WWE. It has Nebula, if you're a fan of Marvel, Karen Gillan in it, Katie Sackhoff for you horror fans, sci-fi fans specifically, Paul Levesque, apparently, maybe the Levesque estate is mentioned, so might be a tie in there.
Okay, I was like, whoa,
I don't know.
Do you religion in this movie?
Yes. He's the woman in the man.
Chaperone. He's Medisoul.
So I'm guessing you like this better than Barricade.
This was a hell of a movie. It's a part of the Flanagan universe. For those who don't know,
is it really?
Mike Flanagan is he produced it, so
right. But
yes. No, everything he produced is all the same universe. I'm taking no questions at this time.
Fair, okay. I'll let that slide.
But if I was thinking about it, I was watching it, and I was like,
"Is it the Flanaganiverse?"
Flanaganiverse. I was watching it, and I was seeing a lot of parallels and things that remind me specifically of Hill House, The Haunting of Hill House. And more so with the random cuts to flashbacks, and then you don't really know what's real and what's not real. Which is all of his fucking Netflix shows: Hill House, Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, Midnight Club, Fall of House the Usher. All phenomenal, by the way. If you want to watch those, they fucking should. It's 8 episodes each. Just do it, please. Thank you. This was good. This was good shit. I liked this.
I don't know if it's just Flanagan, though, because every WWE produced horror film that we've watched, flashbacks.
What? Yeah.
See No Evil had flashbacks to Cain or Jacob Goodnight as a child being abused by his mother in a dog cage for masturbating. Because I can't get through a show without mentioning that.
Yeah.
See No Evil 2 had flashbacks to the first movie. Barricade had flashbacks to him trying to remember how his wife died during his fever-induced black mold, snow monster, gas leak, trauma, pill-induced psychosis.
Snow monster, yeah.
And then this movie, again, flashbacks to their childhood.
And that's why I like when I said stuff not being real and I drew the arrow to Oculus, because that's exactly what happens in the movie. Like, especially, I mean, we're jumping ahead, but like towards the end, the hallucinations get real. And it's like the older versions of the siblings seeing and talking to the younger versions of their siblings, of themselves and each other. And that's literally what Hill House was too. It's like you don't know what's real and what's not.
Do you have a bunch of notes for this compared to what you had for Barricade?
I'm not like when I take notes for stuff that I like, I don't really like take in-depth notes, but like I remember a lot of the movie.
Okay. So I'm gonna do what I did for the last movie.
Go for it.
So I wrote like a paragraph to kind of just like where we are to get the movie started, and then notes. So
Okay.
Tim just got a clean bill of health after being in a mental institution for murdering his father. Was
Yay.
released on his 21st birthday to be greeted by his sister Kaylee, who immediately sucks him back into the whole thing that sent him to the mental institution in the first place. She purchased a haunted mirror from an auction that was apparently the cause of at least her mother's death, if not her father's, and the reason why her brother just spent all this time in a mental institution, like 15 years or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Roughly. So she went and she bought the shit.
Yep.
So notes, the Levesque estate, Paul Levesque, question mark. They locked themselves in their old house where all their childhood trauma happened and attempt to destroy the mirror that can't be destroyed. So what you need to know about this mirror is it's a smart mirror. And by that, I don't mean like it's touchscreen and it has Wi-Fi and all that shit. Apparently, it fucks with your head to make sure that you can't harm this fucking thing. Whenever you try, it pulls some bullshit and it saves itself. It also hates dogs and plants, which fuck you for hating dogs.
Fuck you for hating plants.
I understand hating people. That part I get.
Oh, I hate people.
I hate plants because I have allergies. So, like,
okay, fair.
I get it.
I hate dogs because I'm also allergic. So,
boo.
I didn't choose this life.
We see a bunch of flashbacks to what happened as they were kids, and their mother and father's slow descent into madness. But it's like their perception of what they remember happened as kids. Also, we're recording everything because one thing we've learned about horror movies, ladies and gentlemen, is if you really want to piss something off, put it on camera. Demons, ghosts, poltergeists, they hate being on camera. So if you really want to piss it off, which Kaylee wanted to get a reaction out of this, like Kaylee was conducting science experiments while Tim was just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why did you bring that thing back?
He's like, I'd like to go back to the institution, please.
I just spent 15 years being convinced that I murdered my dad and that all this shit wasn't real. And here you are with cameras. There's a fucking like a dummy rigged safety harness spike thing in the ceiling that if a timer is not reset, releases and is supposed to destroy the mirror. We've got plants. We've got a dog that she was just going to sacrifice the demon mirror.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kaylee. All sorts of crazy shit. Where was I? This mirror has a link to a bunch of deaths throughout the centuries where people that owned it went crazy or starved or mutilated themselves or loved ones. So Kaylee's got like the full history, and she's like, "All right, Tim, if you don't believe that this was an isolated incident and it was dad and mom and blah blah blah, all right, what about this dude and this chick and this person and blah blah blah? They all own the mirror." And he's like, "Coincidence?
No such thing as coincidence, Tim."
The mirror alters your reality and sense of time so that you can't destroy it. So you're seeing things, you're hearing things, you're having hallucinations, all in an act of self-preservation, but also because it feeds off you. Yep. So it's like sucking your soul at the same time. Kaylee wants to prove that her dad was innocent, that dad didn't kill mom.
Oh.
Tim shot dad, and apparently we're not worried about proving Tim was innocent because Tim shot dad. Kaylee keeps seeing a woman with her father that isn't her mom. So this is in the flashback. Like, there's a woman in the office, and Kaylee sees it and brings it up. She's like, hey, Mom, who was the woman in Dad's office? And she's like, that cheating fucking son of a bitch.
Basically.
And then she's like, I think that my C-section scar is gross, and maybe I got a little fat, and he doesn't love me anymore. And somehow he's sneaking a woman into his office when I'm home, and the kids are home, and I just don't know about it. And now I'm hearing voices. And she's hearing her husband say things about her weight and her looks, which then drives her slowly crazy about how he feels about her, but he's not actually saying the shit because it's the mirror fucking with her, I think. Mom is made to feel unattractive and believe that dad is cheating. Evil fucking mirror goes after dogs and plants too. Dad is peeling off his own fingernails and is hearing and seeing things just for shits and giggles. Like, he's not just on the phone with like fucking pliers, just like ripping his fingernails off. Or
he thought it was the Band-Aid from when he was biting his fingernail, and then he like takes the Band-Aid off, and then like comes back and the Band-Aid's on. And then he's like, well, fuck. And he can't get it off. So then he gets the little tiny pair of plier stapler thingies and then rips off his whole fucking fingernail because, spoiler, it wasn't the Band-Aid. It was crazy.
We mentioned how Tim doesn't really believe anything that Kaylee has to say. And in the beginning, like, she's predicting all the stuff. She's like, yeah, oh, watch the plants and the radius. And then and none of it really happens at first. And he's like, all right, yeah, no, rational explanation and coincidence. As soon as Tim finally convinces Kaylee, you know what, let's give up, then she's able to prove that the mirror is fucking with them because she's like, hey, let's go check the tape real quick. And the whole conversation that we watch them have and the argument and everything, they watch it back and they're like moving cameras so they're not facing the mirror, shit that they have no recollection of doing while having the conversation. And Tim's like, what the fuck is this? Okay. Mentioned paranormal activity taught me filming things only makes it worse. Kaylee eats a light bulb, but then doesn't eat a light bulb.
That scene, that's one of the scenes I specifically remember from like when I first saw this movie. And
the trailer.
Oh.
So essentially, she grabs an apple. She goes to bite into the apple, freaks out because she thinks she bit into a light bulb. And then Tim comes in and he's like, what's up? And she looks and it's the apple again. And she's okay. But like shards of glass and blood and just everything you'd expect to see someone bit into a light bulb.
Yeah, typical things.
Kaylee's fiance, which I forgot to mention, Kaylee's engaged and has basically used the company that she works for to purchase the mirror and then stole the fucking thing to bring it to the house to do this. Shows up. Kaylee kills him and then is convinced that she didn't kill him because she didn't eat the apple, so that this isn't real either, but it is. She murdered that man.
The doctor away. Well, so like she was trying to be clever and using her phone camera, and like she thought a plate was broken on the ground, so she pulls out her phone and she videotapes it, and it's like, it's not real. There's no plate. I knew it. And then turns around, thinks she sees her dead mom into the neck with piece of vase. It wasn't a plate, it was a vase from a plant that she threw earlier. And it was Michael. She stabbed him right in the fucking neck. He had no chance.
And so everything comes full circle. Tim goes downstairs, decides, I'm going to destroy this mirror, sets the trap off. Kaylee is standing in front of the mirror, and Tim kills Kaylee. And then the cops show up. Now, mind you, this whole time, like, they're going outside and they're making phone calls, trying to call the police, trying to call for help. And it's the mirror talking to them, or at least they perceive it's the mirror talking to them, that they're not really getting through to anybody. But the cops do show up. And there's Tim with two dead people in the same house that he was arrested in the last time before he got out.
Two dead people in it.
They had two dead people in it. And Tim goes back to jail / mental institution because got out and murdered more people.
Yeah. Well, like the thing with a dad when towards like the climax of the movie and we get like the full like flashback of what happened, the dad like comes to for like a hot second after Tim gets the gun from his dad and he like gets down like execution style. Like he wants Tim to just shoot him right in the fucking skull. The dad, puts his finger on the trigger and pulls it. Tim technically doesn't ever pull the trigger. His dad does. But Tim perceived it as he did it and it was the whole thing. So, like, the dad did one good thing. Killing himself at that point. He told them to run because he knew he would kill them.
Understandable. However, knowing your situation, the fact that you think that is a good thing for a dad to do.
In that scenario, he was going to kill his kids.
Possibly.
More than likely.
Well,
he choked out Kaylee, and then Tim grabs the gun and is like, hey, put on. Like, the dad was going to die in one way or another in that house. Whether it was the cops coming in and shooting him, or what happened in that office. And when he flew back, he broke part of the mirror.
Did you know there's another Oculus?
What?
2 more Oculuses, apparently.
What?
Well, I was looking to see when the movie came out, and in Oculus on IMDb, underneath it says Oculus Chapter 3, The Man with the Plan, which is a short from 2006.
What in the fuck?
So I don't know. What is there an Oculus Chapter 2?
A remake. 2015. What? What? Why? Wait,
they remade it?
In March 2015, Relatively Media, Be Free Television, a bunch of other people confirmed a Bollywood remake.
Oh, that must be that Dobara that I'm looking at.
Yeah, Dobara, See Your Evil. This film is directed by names I would probably butcher, and I don't want to because I'm trying to be respectful. Flanagan served as the executive producer. The film was released on June 2nd, 2017.
All right, so at some point, mom loses her shit. Dad locks her in her room. She's not eating because she's afraid that dad doesn't love her because she's fat. She's gone completely crazy, thinking dad's cheating with the woman in the mirror that she keeps seeing. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And how does mom die?
Bro, she's fucking shot multiple times. This is after she ate a plate upstairs and lost all of her teeth.
Yeah. Then dad is going after the kids, Shining style. We talked about how that goes. Again, dad, perception of reality all fucked up because of the mirror, band-aids, fingernails, constantly angry all the time, miserable. Work's not going well.
I don't even think he's really working at this point. He's just writing Medisol, which is probably the name of the woman in the mirror, which that kind of sets off the wife. Because then the kids come down, she starts tagging them, and then, chain of events happen.
I mean, I could, if I was just writing another woman's name over and over and over again, my wife would probably lose her shit too.
I just don't, I feel like if he was cheating, why would he just very middle school, high school-esque write her name all over his notebook?
He was cheating. Why would he keep bringing the woman to the house after getting caught and accused of having the woman in the house?
Yeah, literally, your wife is always there and your kids are there. So, this movie's just rude. Fucking with people's everything. Livelihoods.
Well, if I remember correctly, the mirror made Kaylee see her mom, and she went to go embrace her mom in the mirror, which is how she kept in front of the mirror before Tim showed up and released the trap to smash the mirror.
Because he didn't see Kaylee there.
Because the mirror fucks with your perception of reality.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that's when I told you that, like, I think I saw the ending. I saw that, but like, it's still like it's been so long. I was just like, I knew it.
You got any other notes on this?
Just that it was like actually like a good horror movie. Like, if you think about it, like, it was very psychological thriller-esque, but like also horror movie, because like the jump scares and people in the mirror and people in their house, like that last night when the kids are trying to run away, and just again, like, parallels from their childhood to adulthood with things they said to each other, especially that last scene with Tim getting arrested. And then when he was a kid, he's driving away in he's getting in the back of the cop car and they're driving away and he sees mom and dad in the window. And then adult Tim sees mom and dad and Kaylee in the window. And just shit like that, things they say back and forth to each other. Like, we gotta be brave. And like, I don't remember the rest of it. Like, that was one of the things that Kaylee said to Tim when they were kids. Tim said to Kaylee. I like when movies do that shit, you know?
Yeah. And you are a big fan of Mike Flanagan, so this was a nice thing for you. For comparison between Barricade and Oculus, Oculus had, hold on, I just did a screenshot of it. A 6.5 out of 10 from 138,000 reviews on IMDb, and a Metascore from 28 critics of a 61. Barricade is at a 4.4 out of 10 with only 3,000 people reviewing it, and there is no Metascore. It just says critic reviews.
Because it's garbage.
So, if you have to pick one, obviously pick Oculus. Where does Oculus rank amongst See No Evil?
Oculus is 1.
Is that bias from the Mike Flanagan, the Flanaganiverse, or is that just like
Flanaganiverse? No, I just really liked this movie. Like, I forgot that Flanagan directed it. That's a plus, 100%. Like, because I love the work that he does, especially with all those shows I mentioned prior to. But that was just like an added bonus. Again, just like it was well shot, it was well done. The idea of a mirror being this actual evil entity is true, because if you do any type of research about mirrors and that way, why do you think they cover mirrors in funerals? And so the spirit doesn't get trapped in the mirror. People like spirits get trapped in mirrors, and it's a thing. So like,
there's a whole movie called Mirrors about that.
There's multiple episodes of horror shows and things that deal with that. It's a common thing, and I like that they turned that into a good movie.
I also believe that, especially with like early cameras, that was why certain cultures didn't want their picture taken, because they were afraid that the camera, specifically the mirror part of the camera, was going to trap their soul.
Yeah. No, that's 100% right.
Yeah. Which
is so fucking cool. Love.
And now we just walk around with them and we're fucking shooting selfies because we have no souls. Shout out to Bakley.
Say, my soul's been gone for a while.
No, I enjoy Oculus. I think Oculus is the reason why everyone voted for this over Incarnate and No One Lives.
Yeah, that's why I voted for it. Listen, I didn't think Barricade was going to be that bad.
I also, like, in retrospect, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should have like done one non-wrestler movie, one wrestler movie, and we should have split them up instead of dividing like no wrestlers, 2 wrestlers. Because like if I have a feeling, because I feel like Incarnate was a bigger movie too, because it's both something that we both feel like we heard of. I feel like if we had done like Oculus and Incarnate, and then Barricade and No One Lives.
No, it would have been too goated of an episode. Like it wouldn't have been fair to Barricade and No One Lives. We have to give the other two movies a chance.
So your ranking is Oculus, See No Evil 2, See No Evil, and then currently still in the last spot, Barricade.
100%. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget actually the order. What's yours?
It's real hard because I like See No Evil for what it is.
I know you do.
I like See No Evil 2 also for what it is, but for
Danielle Harris.
Yeah, is Danielle Harris and Catherine Isabel.
I forgot her name for a second.
About riding and orgasming a corpse back to life. Like,
yeah, typical things. Typical Thursdays.
I have watched Catherine Isabel orgasm a corpse back to life to go on a murder spree and also take a shower while her boyfriend gets destroyed by Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. That's a perfect segue for someone to show up.
What's up, Diggs, by the way? 7. Appreciate you stopping by. So no, I have a hard time between the two movies picking a favorite. I like Oculus. I don't think I like Oculus as much as you do. Like, I like the Flanagan universe, but I also don't like I had issues with Bly Manor and Hill House. We talked about this.
You having issues with Bly Manor hurts. Hurts me.
Which one was Hill House? Was the one with the family in the house, right?
Yes. Bly Manor was the nanny and the kids.
Yeah.
And lesbians.
So the issue I had with the Hill House was that it ended so happily and everyone's just like, yay, everything's okay. We're all dead in the house. And that was not for me. That's not how I wanted that
they weren't all
8
dead.
episode shit then. Huh?
Only one of they weren't all dead.
I thought everyone died in the house and they were all ghosts in the house.
No, just I can't remember her name. Only the youngest daughter of the 5 kids dies.
But still, it had a very happy ending, and I did not enjoy that.
I enjoyed it.
Which is fine. Like, I'm not saying you can't enjoy it.
What was your issue with Bly Manor? Because that shit was sad as fuck at the end. I'm listening.
Because that was the one with, like, you said it had the nanny.
Yeah.
And the nannies were, like, going out into the lake and drowning and shit.
And yeah, kind of, but yes. It wasn't like just the nannies, but Danny, the nanny, bars, becomes the lady of the lake at the end. And that's why it made me so fucking sad. I was distraught.
It was what it was. I enjoyed Midnight Mass. I liked Midnight Mass. I think Midnight Mass was my favorite. I think Midnight Mass was my favorite. And then what else did you say there? Because I have not finished.
Fall of the House of Usher.
Correct.
Midnight Club, which I also haven't watched because I didn't realize that was also him. Midnight Club is also on Netflix.
Did watch that. Let me look this up. Midnight Club.
Because I thought that was the same show for the longest time. Because the midnight part. But like it has like a lot of the same
I did
actors.
watch that. I actually really like that. I think Midnight Club is probably my favorite. And then Midnight Mass.
Okay. Wait, how far are you on Fall of House Usher?
I got to the nightclub episode, and I think that's where we stopped, and we haven't gone back.
Still there?
Yeah, no, we haven't gone back.
Oh, you guys didn't get there. I need to talk to you about it.
Listen, me and Kate just had an entire debate, right? Because she's sitting there, and the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith show dropped, and she goes, "Do you want to watch this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll watch it with you." And she goes, "All right." I'm like, "But priorities, right?
Yeah.
We have not finished Fall of the House of Usher.
Yes.
We have not finished Ted, which we started.
Mm-hmm.
Rick and Morty, you told me I'm not allowed to watch without you. And those are 3 things I would rather watch than start a new show. Said on
Fair.
top of that, Thanksgiving is out for rent, and I want to watch that movie.
Oh yeah.
And The Marvels is coming to Netflix, I think, like next week or in 2 weeks.
Oh shit. Wait, the Netflix? Really?
Or not Netflix, Disney Plus.
Disney
Sorry.
Plus. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, whoa, Netflix stealing Disney movies. Okay.
So I was like, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like, I'm not going to tell you if you really want to watch it, do your thing. You can watch it without
Yeah.
me, blah, blah, blah. But it's not the highest on my priority list. Like, I have a priority list and we have so much time, and I need to selfishly finish shit we've started before we start something new because it's new and shiny and interesting.
No, I get that. I also didn't realize Mr. and Mrs. Smith was going to be a show. I thought they were just making another movie.
I think it's a show.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I just remember seeing. Like,
I've been
I just
wrong a
remember
lot,
hearing about
so
it. That's okay.
it happens. No, so we had that whole debate and everything, and I was like, yeah, no, go ahead and watch it because there's a lot of other shit. And like, again, we have from the time we put Zoe down until like whenever I have to do something, and then on top of that, WWE shows up once a month with the Saturday pay-per-view, and then the next week they got a Sunday pay-per-view. So like, what did we? All we got done yesterday because we were out so late was Oak Island, and then I had to come and do this or Smacking a Raw. So like, our time to watch shit, and Zoe's not napping in the middle of the day like she used to. So like, we used to have like an hour to 2 hours there. It's fucking everything up because there's a lot of shit she just won't let me watch without her.
Well, I'm gonna need, when you get to it, I'm gonna need episode updates of Fall of the House of Usher.
Okay.
Please and thank you. I might watch it again tomorrow. No, I have other shit I gotta watch. I know. Shut up. Shush. Don't yell at me. It's a comfort thing.
No, Oculus is good.
But yeah, we still need your official rankings, sir.
I mean, movie-wise, I guess Oculus is probably the best made. I'd probably say Oculus, See No Evil 2, See No Evil, Barricade, as far as like production value.
Okay. But this is like your personal list.
Well, that's not fair because I'm a slasher guy. So it's going to be See No Evil 2, Oculus, Barricade. Because I prefer slashers.
That's allowed.
Actually, it'd be See No Evil 2, See No Evil, because not only do I prefer slashers, but I prefer legacy characters and shit like
Daniel
that.
Harris.
And Daniel Harris, Catherine as well. But Kane was, as much as I like what they did with See No Evil, even though it's not a great movie, Kane was so much cooler as a slasher in See No Evil 2. With the get up and everything.
Terrifying.
And he killed everybody.
I was gonna say everybody died.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So whereas in See No Evil, 3 people walk out of the house.
Which still, like, ain't nobody care about.
You can't have 3 final girls, including Michael.
Michael barely counts.
So See No Evil 2, See No Evil, Oculus. No, fuck that. See No Evil 2, Oculus, See No Evil, Barricade. That's what I'm going.
Okay, so we just have our number 1 and our number 2 swapped. We're on the same wavelength, even though some people don't like that.
It happens.
I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm not gonna say I'm excited. I'm gonna say I'm intrigued to watch No One Lives in Incarnate. I'm not having high expectations, because then if they exceed my expectations, then it'll be good.
No, I did buy those, so those are available.
Oh, I saw.
Taken care of. But I was literally going to say, has Barricade ruined? Because so for those of you who don't know, on the last episode, we watched all the trailers for this, and as we were watching them, we reacted live to the trailers. So like post show, I think it was post show content, maybe
it was either post show or very end of the episode.
Yeah. But we were excited for most of them. We're like, oh shit, okay, because like we had never heard of a lot of these. I think Incarnate was the one when we thought we heard them, but we couldn't really remember much about it.
Yeah,
we were both familiar with Oculus. And we were watching, we're like, oh, okay. Oh, this looks good. Really? This is a WWE horror film? What? Okay, yeah. And right before the post show. Thank you, Timmy. not to be confused with Tim.
Different people.
So we were stoked to do these because we're like, I don't care what we watch because they all look good. Barricade was not. So I'm a little apprehensive going into not so much Incarnate, but more so No One Lives, I think.
So, because I think, if I remember correctly, Incarnate not only has Mark Henry, allegedly, probably, supposedly, also has the name of the actor I can't remember, but Two-Face from Christopher Nolan's Batman. Specifically The Dark Knight. And he's a bunch of other things, but like I will always know him as Two-Face.
Aaron Eckhart.
I knew his name was Aaron. Yeah, but him.
I'm more stoked for Carice Van Houten from Game of Thrones.
See, I didn't watch Game of Thrones. Talk about this.
She played Melisandre. Big fan of that.
Game of Thrones guy. I don't know.
That guy's got a giant forehead.
Jesus.
He
Damn.
does. It is what it is. As someone with a big fucking head, I feel like I'm allowed to say that. It definitely does say Mark Henry bouncer number 2. So he did, which is probably why he didn't make
the trailer. But the dinosaur did. But it also looks like he dies in the trailer. So like, whoa.
That's one of the things we're most excited for.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So
I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna have low expectations. I'm not excited. Sing it. Go ahead. I'm not gonna have high expectations at all. And I'm not excited per se. I'm intrigued.
I think Incarnate's gonna be good. No One Lives. I feel like they gave away the whole premise of the movie in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So, prediction from what I saw, bad people fuck with somebody and find out that there are badder people than them out there. And the person that they go decide to fuck with has kidnapped a girl and is not the hero of the story.
One could say they fucked around and found out.
Which I don't know why you'd give that away in the trailer like that. I was watching it. I was kind of bummed watching because I'm like, I would have liked to watch the movie and been like, oh, this is going to be the good guy, and then get the slow reveal.
Well, as me, you, and Reek himself have talked about, specifically when we're talking about Halloween, he didn't want to watch the Halloween Kills trailer because trailers 9 times out of 10 give away the whole fucking movie.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's why I said 9 times out of 10. Like, it's rare when you get a trailer for a movie that doesn't basically lay out the plot and the characters and the huge plot twist that comes out. It's rare. And when you get that, it's fun. But when you get spoiled, it sucks. So unless there's a bigger plot twist and No One Lives, you know what happens.
Yeah, but I also really enjoyed like watching this evil guy fuck up these other bad guys because like I don't know if he's gonna be like an anti-hero. So, we gotta watch. We'll find out.
Yeah. We have 2 weeks.
We have 2 weeks. And we will see you in 2 weeks for getting off to episode 28, WWE Horror, No One Lives, and Incarnate. So please, if you guys enjoyed this, if you guys enjoyed the last episode, if you are fans of both horror and wrestling or one or the other, tune in and check it out. We appreciate your support. Speaking of support, Katie, where can they support you?
Well, even though we talked about it at the beginning, I have bronchitis, and that has not stopped me from doing any show. I will still be doing all of my shows because I have problems, and I can still talk, and it's fine. But if you want to see the things I tweet and repost and things, K2013, Linktree in my bio to take all things She-Lead Showcase, twitch.tv/She-Lead Showcase, and youtube.com/She-Lead Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Spoiler, Reek is our guest this week. For the She-Lead Showcase.
You've been cock teasing us since Thursday about no one's gonna know.
No one's gonna know. They're gonna know. Yeah, that's right.
The Rack's gonna be really disappointed.
That's all right. Well, Savannah and I are gonna try and do a guest a month on the show to, bring, because somebody, I don't know who, but somebody requested that we have more guests on the main show. So we're gonna do people that Savannah's comfortable with, and I'm also comfortable with. Like, we need to have some type of dynamic. Well, there might be a show that Savannah misses in March that I was gonna have you be my co-host. Maybe if you're nice, the Rack can show up. Don't put the glasses on right now. Put them down. But besides that, yeah, we do a lot of stuff on SheLead. I'm gonna wait until I'm a little better to like get back into interviews and stuff because I don't want to be like hacking up a fucking lung trying to talk to people. So I'm gonna wait a little bit and reach out to a few more people. And same thing with the story times because I have 2 in mind that I want to do, and I have props for and things. But again, I want to wait until I'm actually like fully better and can talk for an extended period of time without being out of breath and hacking up a fucking lung. So.
At Katie Wrestling 13.
Yep.
SheLead Showcase, everywhere you guys can find podcasts.
Yep.
Every Thursday. I did it just to fuck with you that time.
You watch
every
my fucking
Thursday,
show.
Every Thursday. 5 p.m.-ish Central Time. 6
p.m. Eastern-ish EST because EST is I'm the host.
5 p.m.-ish Central Time for those. And then Katie's got a Patreon you guys should go check out. I'm on there talking about things like possibly fucking a ghost because I can't talk about fucking my wife, so I got to talk about something. And other spooky shit. We're sharing ghost stories and all sorts of fun shit. She's got an SVU podcast. She's got a bunch of really cool content. They created their own playlist.
Mm-hmm.
With our favorite music producer that's not famous, Jaylan on the Beat, and Justin, the Yin Yang twins from the Get Show podcast.
They dubbed that themselves. That was not me. They did it themselves.
So go check out her Patreon. Go sub to her Patreon. Again, show that support. You guys can follow me at Matt at MATTRIDDR on Twitter, as well as Getting Offed on Twitter. If you're watching this and you're like, oh, this is a horror podcast, that's because your horror content is at Getting Offed. If you want your wrestling content, which there was a little bit of here, but not really, because we just mentioned WWE like 15 times, but nothing from WWE. At Matt Ritter for your wrestling content on Twitter. Everywhere else, it's all under one banner that is Smacking It Raw. You will get wrestling, you will get horror, you will get a little bit of my life. You might see my daughter in some TikToks over on TikTok. We've got an Instagram. We've got Threads. We've got Blue Sky. We've got all that shit. So go follow, like, subscribe. We appreciate you. For Miss Katie Kinsey, baby, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the word Matt Ritter, and this has been the #1 horror podcast on places where you can find people having sex because Pornhub doesn't love us anymore.
True.